Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I just got back from a bike ride. And sometimes when I have conversations with people, sometimes people will say things to me and it sticks in my head and I kind of replay it. And, like, why did that person say that? And, I'm sure everybody does that. And it's a nice day here in Connecticut. It's this time of year, it could go any way. It could go down to zero. It could go up to 60 or 70. It's all over the place. And this afternoon, it was just down below 30 the last couple of days. It's below freezing. And today, it's actually almost 50 degrees. So I broke my mountain bike out. And I just went for, I just went for my second ride. I've been doing a lot of working out. Every winter, I gain weight. I probably put on 10 pounds over the Christmas, New Year's, Halloween time frame, and I usually every year I burn it off about this time of year. So I just went for a few bike rides just to get outside and smell that wonderful smell of the spring air once the air starts to get warm here in the Northeast. And I've been I wouldn't call it hibernation, but people see me less. When I'm not out, it's cold and snowy and everything, and you tend to see other people less. And just as I was pulling my bike back in, this is a very big building. It's 150, 160 units. It's a huge building. And a lot of the people I don't even know or I've never even met, and I've been here for 3 years. And I was coming back in and I see the same people. There's a smoking area and I see the same people all the time. And I'm very friendly. They're very friendly. And we always wave, and I might get a little chit chat in here or there. So I just went by them out there. They were smoking. There was about 5 people outside, just guys probably around my age. And as I was coming in, I wave and say hi, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? We were just talking about you. Good to see you, man." And I'm kind of I'm cruising along at a good speed. I wasn't expecting conversation as I'm coming into down the road. It caught me a little off guard. So I was like, "Hey, I didn't have time to say much." And so I waved and I said, "Hey, great, cool," and just kept going. And it played through my head a little bit. And I've had people tell me this before. I don't hide the fact that I'm in recovery. And as I started thinking about what they were just talking about me. I wonder, I'm wondering in my head, what do I think they were talking about? Well, I haven't seen that guy on the bike. I haven't seen Daryl around. And I've had people tell me before, this comes up a lot, like if I'm not around, so my good friends will say, "Yeah, these guys brought this up. They hadn't seen you in a while and they wondered if you might have relapsed, so that, I really believe if people don't see me, there's times when I might be like just in a really great mood and laughing a lot and kind of boisterous or quiet. And people will wonder if I've relapsed or if something's going on and something they should be worried about, and you know what, this doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me at all. It's been over 18 years, and I know I'm clean. My family knows I'm clean. You guys know I'm clean. There's no way I could do a YouTube video every single morning for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, every single morning, look at my, you can tell, people that know me know I'm clean. But people that see me on a casual basis, and I wonder, are they really wishing me well? Or just deep inside, do some of them kind of want me to fail? Or if I failed, it would give them something to talk about, like their life wouldn't be quite as bad because mine would be worse. You know that feeling. You kind of heard people talk like that before. That poor Amy, she's getting divorced. Her husband cheated on her. That kind of thing. Except with me, it'd be like, "Oh, poor Daryl. We haven't seen him around in a while. Maybe he's using again. Oh, geez, that would be terrible." And I people have told me, that this comes up. Like I said, it doesn't make me angry or anything like that, because the nature of addiction, the person that I used to be, I was a lying manipulator. I lied every day. I didn't even know the truth. I didn't even know what the truth really was. I lied to myself. I lied about things I didn't even have to lie about. just ridiculous stuff, constant lies. And, I was living in just a fog. And, looking back, I could understand, and very few people actually make it in recovery, unfortunately. That's kind of the reason I do this video. That's a big reason why I say in all these videos, I say recovery is possible. I remember being in I was in over 13 detoxes. And I remember that the counselors telling us a couple times, different counselors, different visits, different times I was in there, they had some numbers. And I remember there was something, the estimate was something like 2 out of like 30 people will make it 1 year without relapsing. It's really, really, unfortunately, a lot of people relapse. In my opinion, relapsing is part of recovery. It happened to me. I relapsed a few times before the 18 years, back in 2005. I relapsed a day here, a day there. And those are the days where you just really kick yourself. That's when or you slip back into using again. You could go either way. But a lot of times when you relapse, it kind of cements the idea that you don't want to go back, because they're usually the most horrific days when you relapse, and you're just kicking yourself and you lose everything. You lose the trust of all the people you love, you lose all your money, you lose all your health, your job, everything in the matter of a day or two, and you just tell yourself, like I asked myself, why am I doing this? This isn't fun. This isn't a sign from God. I don't know what is. So, I kind of expect people to, sometimes, because I don't hide the fact that I'm in recovery. To me, it's something that made me who I am today, and I'm proud of it. So I'm not going to hide it. It's made me a better, stronger person. I was thinking when I was on my bike ride a few days ago, I was thinking one of the best things that came out of using and recovery was how I lost everything. I lost everything. And I was able to now in recovery, I'm able to build it all back up and not only be alive, but thrive. I lost everything in my life. I hit rock bottom and I've been able to claw my way back. And that's a powerful thing. To know that you can do that, that you are able to do something like that, to lose everything, the support of your family, the support of your loved ones. Just people give up on you. You lose your home, your job, your car, your money, your health, everything, and it takes a long time to work back. But once you do, it's a powerful thing knowing that you can do that. One last thing I'd like to bring up, I'd like to mention, and I want to warn people. This is something I used to do when I was using. This is something that the people I hung around with back then, years ago, that were using. When we knew that somebody was trying to get clean, back when we were all using, and one of our friends got a girlfriend, right? And, he all of a sudden he stopped using. He was in love, and he had been clean. He didn't come around anymore. He was back working hard his job and moving in with this woman and all this stuff. And this is terrible. But not only I did this, but all the people I knew and other addicts. This is just the nature of the disease. What we would do is we would try to entice those people back out to come back out with us and use. We wouldn't say that, but the whole motivation behind that, it's a terrible thing. It really is. The whole motivation behind that is because that they've had time to save up money. That's the whole motivation behind that. They always have a considerable amount of money. They always have at least $300 or $400 in their bank account, if they've been clean for a couple months. And the motivation behind that is to make them throw it all away so that you could use, they could buy for you. It's somebody to spring for your addiction. It's a terrible thing. It's something I'm still embarrassed to even say that I did that, but like I said, it was just all the addicts I knew did something of this nature. So, once you get clean or sober, if you know somebody that's trying to get clean or has been clean for a few months, you got to, tell them that your friends, a lot of times, the people and they'll say they're clean. That's another thing that I learned, back when I first got clean. Whenever a friend would call or knock on the door or drive by and I'd see him, And I'd say, hey, I've been clean for 3 months. And they go, yeah, holy cow, me too, dude, you know. Or they'll say this, they'll say, I've been doing good, man. You know, I've been clean for a while. I've told you guys this before. If somebody can't name their clean date, chances are they're not clean. If they say, I've been doing good for a while, chances are they're not clean. You know, your clean date is like your second birth. You know, mine, October 23rd, 2006. You know, it was 18 years and 4 months and 10 days ago. You know, that's how, you know, it was my second birth. But be wary, you know, be wary. It's unfortunate, but you have to be very wary of everybody, especially, you know, the people that you used to use with. In my opinion, I just had to get them all out of my life. Every person I ever used with, the girls that I dated that I used with, they had to go. You know, no phone calls, no texts, no friends on Facebook, no nothing. I just closed them all out of my life. Not because they were bad people, but also in a lot of cases they were. Like I said, you know, they would be tempted to do stuff to lure me back in, but also because they were triggers for me. Just seeing their faces or hearing their laugh or hearing their voice would remind me of using, and it would trigger me. So you have to get rid of all the people that used to, anyone that you ever used with or drank with. Gotta go. That's my opinion, and it's worked for me. Recovery is possible. Have a good Wednesday.